and people had the most ridiculous hairstyles and hair and hats and all this kind of thing. Maybe a hat that was made of a ship or something. So all of this extravagance is nothing new, and actually I think we need to up the ante to really be historically accurate.
What I love is that 200 years later you've got 71,000 people at a racecourse.
It's amazing.
All there to enjoy it, and Ascot brought in kids to wave on Tuesday and Wednesday, 500 kids waving to see the royal procession. And here you go, Alice, look at this.
There it
200 years later. Does that still give you a buzz?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the slice of history that we're seeing unfold, and in years to come, historians will be writing about this. I suppose it's the first time that a phone was out in the royal procession, or who knows what's going to happen today. But every year, this really is a new chapter in history.
And they'll be writing about when Alice Loxton came on ITV to talk about the royal procession. Are you going to stay with us while they arrive?
I'd love to.
Excellent. Because what happens there, Charlotte tells us who's who and who's where. Who's in carriage one today, Charlotte?
In carriage one we have the Queen, they've been here every day for Royal Ascot this year. Sir Mark Prescott and Ms Lizzie Spender. Now Lizzie Spender, she's the widow of Barry Humphries. She is the film actress Elizabeth Spender. Now Charles was a close friend of the late Sir Barry Humphries, reportedly called him just before he died, sent a tribute message when he died. She describes herself on social media as a writer, a resting actress, a chefette and a would-be horse trainer herself. And of course Sir Mark Prescott, horse trainer of more than 50 years, trains horses for the King, Sir Mark Prescott, doesn't he, Beth? Heath House Stable in Newmarket.
Yes, I mean, he is, among other things, Mark Prescott is the funniest storyteller ever. So this must have been the best lunch party ever.
But he waits his season carriage 4.
They've got Roy Bremner on one side, because Roy Bremner's going to come in later coach, and Mark Prescott. And if they were let rip, look, he's probably telling one of his stories now, because he is really the ultimate storyteller.
Alice would love meeting him because he is a historian. I mean, he's a really good trainer, but even better storyteller and historian. What he doesn't know about Newmarket's not worth knowing.
Oh, switch him on. As most of it's printable too.
And Lizzie Spender has a horse named after her. Do you know that? Too Darn Lizzie. Named after Lizzie by the Lloyd Webbers, who were in the royal procession this week. Part owner of the filly who ran in Australia actually sold for a fortune earlier this year. And look at Sir Mark there. He will be telling some amazing stories.
You know, he's arranged his funeral altogether, including the guests, and he's written the impact on his gravestone, but he won't tell you what it's going to be.
He's had Royal Ascot winners. In fact, the royal procession today has 11 Royal Ascot winners between them. Lots of Cheltenham winners as well, as you'll see in a minute. Sir Mark had his first in 1994. He had a winner last year. His longevity as a trainer is quite something. A great man. Right, the second carriage, Charlotte.
In carriage number 2 we have Princess Eugenie of York, Mr Jack Brooksbank, Mr Ed Walker and Mrs Ed Walker. Princess Eugenie, the King's niece, 12th in line to the throne, and I was with her at an event the other day actually, and she was telling everybody there just how to pronounce her name. Use your knee, Eugenie. So I know I've got that correct.
Eugenie.
Exactly, Eugenie. Married to Jack Brooksbank, and they have 2 children together, August and Ernest. And Ed Walker, of course, racehorse trainer based at Kingdom Stables in Upper Langhorne.
His wife coming on the far side. They had a winner yesterday, a 4th Royal Ascot winner, Never Let Go, won the Sandringham with Kieran Schumacher riding. To carriage 3 we go.
And in the 3rd carriage we have the Right Honourable the Lord Ashton of Hyde, Lady Ashton of Hyde, Mr David Howden and Mrs David Howden. Now Lord Ashton became Master of the Horse a year ago. That's effectively chairman of the transport section of the royal household that covers both cars and horse-drawn carriages, and his wife Emma with him there. And Mr David Howden, CBE, he was made a CBE in the King's Birthday Honours List this year for services to insurance. He's a horse owner and a breeder, also CEO of Howden, which is an official partner here at Royal Ascot, one of the largest insurance groups in the world. It's his first time in a carriage, and they've had this successful partnership with Ascot for the last 4 years now, and he's created this thoroughbred aftercare programme, which is lovely, so it ensures that ex-racehorses have a second career.
So they do that with eventing as well, actually, Charlotte. He's passionate about the horse. Both the Howdens are big supporters at Ascot, as you say. It's a great invitation to get any meeting you're with the Howdens, you're guaranteed to have great fun. Vanessa Binney Ryle's your host, and you genuinely have a good time. But they're really keen on that in eventing and horse racing. They launched it in the winter. Alice Plunkett launched it here as an event, and it's all about that transition from being a racehorse to just a horse you ride at home, which is such an important part of our industry. So well done to the Howdens. Now, I wouldn't mind being carriage 4 today. This is a humdinger.
I think this would be a lively one, wouldn't it? In the fourth carriage, we have Mr. Rory Bremner, Mrs. Rory Bremner, Mr. Nicky Henderson, and Mrs. Nicky Henderson. Rory Bremner, of course, you will know, impressionist, comedian, genius at what he does, isn't it? You know, the public figures that he does impressions of. He is friends with the King. I've heard his Donald Trump impression. I mean, he's got so many, and he does actually do an impression.
I'm going to get him to do some this afternoon. I'm going to try.
Charles. I don't know whether he'll be doing it to the King, but he has said, because they're great friends, he has said King Charles has a terrific sense of humour, so you never know. Will it be King Charles speaking to King Charles? His wife Tessa is an artist and a sculptor, and the Hendersons there as well in that carriage.
I think Richie is out and about with the crowd. What's happening, Richie?
And I'm in the Queen Anne enclosure, just between the half-furlong pole and the winning line. It is absolutely heaving down here. It's also very sultry and warm. And I bumped into an old friend who was actually here last year. It's Hero from Tokyo. Hero, you've brought some friends with you this year as well?
Yes.
What did you enjoy last year at Ascot that you wanted to see again?
Because last year is King of Chairs is a first time. This is a second time. And my friend is a first time, and so she's a very exciting Royal Ascot because she's a very dreaming and Royal Ascot.
And I love to see that they're filming us, filming them. It's what the modern world has come to. Now, most importantly today, we've got a Royal Ascot winner from Japan.
Yeah.
Satono Rev. Is he going to win?
Yes. Yes.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. History today in the making, but obviously I'm going to leave you, Hero, and your friends to enjoy the royal procession. I think Satono Rev is going to win the Queen Elizabeth Jubilee Stakes.
Live at 3:40 this afternoon. Look at this, Alice. Look at the size of the crowds. Different to back in the day. Everyone's got their phones out these days filming, haven't they?
That's it, and I probably think the ordinary person's probably a bit better dressed, a bit better heeled these days.
The Heath enclosure's away on the left as we look, the Windsor enclosure on the right. You can get a view of the royal procession for as little as a tenner. As we get towards the national anthem, again, Brough, we might be interrupted. We don't know when they're going to strike up. But carriage 4, I think Tessa's more talented than Rory in many ways. Tessa Campbell-Fraser, as she used to be, an artist, a sculptor. They've got talented kids as well, show jumpers. The Bremners are one talented family.
Yeah, I think he may be getting a polished version of you, Ed. You want to be careful.
Well, the funny thing is in carriage 4, so every year there's the Peter O'Sullivan lunch in honour of the great man. And Peter was a great friend of Rory Bremner, okay? And he'd ring up Rory every year and say, Rory, could you do my lunch this year? And Rory would respond saying, oh, Peter, I'm very, very busy. And Peter would go, what a shame, you're already on the ticket. So Rory had to turn up, and he's still doing it now for his old mate Peter. And guess what his best impression is? His best is probably Trump, but his second best impression, Nicky Henderson. Take that left turn under the tunnel. I'm predicting more noise in the paddock today. I hope people heard what I said there. So his number 1 impression, I would say, is Donald Trump. Number 2 is who's currently sitting opposite Rory in carriage 4. But Nicky's great fun. Likewise, Sophie opposite him. I think one evening they have a rather lively drinks party in the car park where the rosé flows, I'm told. Sources tell me. Are you allowed to do that? I remember Frankie, when he was in the procession, was told to keep his hands firmly under his legs, no waving.
We did wonder if he was going to do a flying leap at any point.
Much more relaxed royal procession, clearly, these days. And here they are. There's Sophie on the left, Rory on the right, Tessa back left, Nikki on the right. Look like they're really enjoying it. I need a couple of horses to win because Rory wanted a couple of tips this morning. I gave him Ramouz in the Jersey and Shartash in the Wokingham. And this is the route the winning horse takes, Alice. Now they go under the tunnel and then they'll emerge into the paddock behind us for the first time. Which is the first time everyone who's been here a while to get a vantage point to see them.
And of course, someone who's not here today is the Prince of Wales. It's his 43rd birthday today. He's said to be celebrating it privately at home with his family in Windsor. We know the Princess of Wales wasn't able to make it, was she, earlier this week, which she was said to be disappointed about. But we wish him a happy birthday and hope they're having a lovely time celebrating with the family.
Yes, happy birthday from everyone here. Isn't that a great sight, Alice? Everyone
Wonderful sight.
getting their spot. The paddock is absolutely packed. 200 years later, if that doesn't show you that its popularity endures nothing well. I thought it was going to be loud, Charlotte. It's not.
No, we thought last day, sell-out crowd. I think they'll build as the carriage makes its way around.
Cheers, yes or no?
Should we say yes? We did yesterday, didn't we?
We got two.
You're going to start them?
Fabulous hats, and I think another point to note about the hats this year is there's a display from the King's Foundation within Ascot itself of some of the students who created these great hats this year. And so that's another way that we see heritage being kept alive.
And the King's a big believer in that, isn't he? Of, you know, making sure that those arts and crafts are carried on and continued.
See, Sir Mark knows his history. His hands are firmly under his legs. If ever you want to correspond with Sir Mark Prescott, it's a handwritten letter.
Often faxed you. He writes the letter and then he faxes the
I wrote to him when he won the Arc with Albanista and got a beautiful handwritten letter back.
That's lovely.
Tradition kept up. Alice, thank you so much for your company. I hope you've enjoyed it.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Well done
What
with
a
the
sport.
documentary.
This is the
Nothing
best
to
place
join
to
the
see everything unfold.
Isn't it? You can watch this next bit of tradition because the first carriage will disembark to be met by His Majesty's representative. There he is. I always say to him, he's the best tire of a tie. Sir Francis did admit he gets a little bit of help. But mind you, the King, I think, is probably on top of that list. It's the way you do it here, and I'm trying myself and making an absolute mess of it. I will improve, Alice, next year. So they disembark, Queen Camilla first, to meet Sir Francis. And we'll meet Sir Francis. Every day we mention Sir Francis, Lady Selina Carter and Harry Morley. Just thought it was right today to mention their spouses. I hope they don't mind me saying, probably work harder than them. So they deserve a medal as well. So Francis' wife, Catherine, who we see at racecourses around the country, Alex Carter and Kate Morley. Well done to you as well. What's been a fabulous week. Sir Mark seems to return Queen Camilla's gloves as the King meets Sir Francis Brooke. His Majesty's representative and chairman here at Ascot as well. For the trustees, they'll meet first. And then there are three in the reception line. In the reception line today, Jonathan Gregory, who's the Chief Commercial Officer here. He's going to be thrilled with the way this week has gone, joined from the Goodwood Group. Also, Chris Collard, who is basically the key accountant here, called the company secretary. And I'm sure and I hope his daughters are watching, Alice and Georgia. They'll be very proud of Dad, who in a moment meet the King and Queen. And then nearest us is today's unsung hero. Bruh, this is such a nice touch, isn't it, by Ascot? They get things right. This guy nearest us is Dean Sutherland from the lawn staff. Part of the staff that made those amazing, the flower beds, the flowers, the grass, everywhere is immaculate. And you know when he started here? 1st of June, 1981.
I wonder if there's a weed then. I can't find a weed.
I've not seen a weed all